I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA Disability and Individual Disability Attorney. Welcome to this episode of Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started, I've got to give you a legal disclaimer. This podcast isn't legal advice. The Florida Bar Association says I have to say this. So now that I've said it, I will tell you that nothing will ever prevent me from giving you easy to understand information about the disability insurance world, games the disability carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. Now, today I'm going to be talking about Crohn's disease, celiac disease, and other gastroenterological diseases, how they interact with other disorders, and how they can impact your ERISA disability insurance claim. And I'm going to touch on two things. The first I'm going to touch on are the 6 symptoms of Crohn's disease that ERISA disability carriers just don't get. And 2, the relationship between celiac disease and autoimmune thyroid disorders and your long-term disability insurance claim. Before we get started on all that great information, I'm going to take a quick break.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind from your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claim process. Request your free copy of the book at caveylaw.com today.
Welcome back. Let's talk about the 6 symptoms of Crohn's disease that ERISA disability carriers or plans just don't get. Now, Crohn's disease is a chronic condition that causes inflammation of your small and large intestines of the digestive tract. It's a type of inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, and unfortunately, it's not curable. Crohn's symptoms can wax and wane with periods of no symptoms, mild symptoms, and severe flare-ups. This waxing and waning can be problematic from a proof standpoint. Disability carriers like to terminate or deny claims when policyholders or plan beneficiaries have a period of no symptoms or just mild symptoms. Keeping a diary of your symptoms is crucial. You're going to want to keep a log of the symptoms, the nature of the symptoms, the frequency of the symptoms, the duration of the symptoms, and how those symptoms impact your ability to function. So what I want to see, for example, and the carrier is going to want to see, is stomach pain, stomach cramps, diarrhea, whether or not you have bloody stools, fever, and whether you've got problems with fatigue. Now, when you are keeping a diary, I think it's crucial that you use a 24-hour day. Document when you have stomach pain and cramps together with what medication you took and your response to that medication. Now, if the pain or cramps were severe and you had to lie down, I think you should document that, what you had to do, how long you were down, whether you were able to nap, and if so, for how long. Now, if you're having problems with fatigue, that's game 2. Diary frequency and the nature of your stools can be embarrassing, but I think it's important because if you can't meet the pace and production requirements of work because you're running to and from the bathroom, then that's crucial. Now, if you're also using depends, you want to document that, but also discuss in your diary how that might modify your running errands or impact your ability to function. If you have episodes of fever, you should note those episodes with the temperature and what you did to try to bring that fever down. Now, I think that if you're having problems with all of your symptoms combined that impact your ability to sleep, we want to document that, and particularly your need to nap. Documentation, in my view, is key. And I think you should be giving a copy of that document to your doctor at each visit, asking them to keep a copy for their records. And you need to keep a copy of it because ultimately you're going to be submitting it to the disability carrier. We don't want them to make unfounded assumptions about your symptoms, how those symptoms impact your ability to function, or how your symptoms impact your ability to do your own occupation or any occupation. It takes teamwork to get your disability benefits. Now, as I have said, the disability carriers don't understand this, and that's why it's important that not only in your medical records you are documenting these symptoms and you're giving this to your physician, but that you're also submitting it to the disability carrier. You're going to be asked to complete activity of daily living forms, and the disability carrier is going to be looking at your medical records, your diary, and your activities of daily living forms. If there's inconsistency here, the disability carrier is going to seize on this as a reason to deny your disability claim. So we're looking for consistency. And those activity of daily living forms don't exaggerate, because exaggeration is just a grounds for the disability carrier to argue that your physician is relying on the accuracy and completeness of your history and your symptoms. And if you're exaggerating, then your doctor's opinions about your restrictions and limitations is going to be thrown out the window. So disability carriers and plans don't understand these symptoms that we've just discussed. They don't understand how they impact your ability to just do things around the house. And they certainly don't impact or understand how they impact your ability to do your own or any other occupation. If you're at the own occupation stage, I think it's crucial that in your documentation that you're submitting, either to your physician or in your statements to the disability carrier, that you're talking about your occupational duties and how those symptoms impact your ability to do those. As I said, if you've got to run to the restroom, you're not going to be able to keep on task or meet the production requirements of your occupation. If you're having severe symptoms, you may not even be able to go to work. If you're having problems with fatigue, you may also be having some issues with concentration. So we want to document, you want to document how those symptoms impact your ability to function in your own occupation. If you're at any occupation stage, I think there still needs to be a tie-in between your symptoms and your functionality and your inability to do any occupation. Now, at that stage, the disability carriers are trying to show that you can work and do work in a sedentary position, which means sitting down all day. But if you've got to get up and move around because of pain, if you've got to change positions, maybe get on the floor, maybe go take a nap, that's a problem. If you have to use the restroom, obviously that's going to impact your ability to do a sedentary job. So think about those symptoms that you have that would make it difficult, if not impossible, for you to do a sedentary job. Make sure that those are documented in your medical records, in the information you're giving your physician, and of course, any statement or contact you're having with the disability carrier. Got it? Let's take a break.